It is Monday night, and we are live once again for round number 6 of the Elite Performance Industries Late Model Shootout Series. Tonight, we bring you live coverage of the Wadsworth Motorcars 125 from the legendary Hickory Motor Speedway. I'm Jeff Boyd Jr., joined by Bill Tomer in the ITZR broadcast booth. And Bill, we have reached the midway point of the season. 5 races in the books, round number 6 tonight, and things are starting to take shape in our championship battle with Cole Cabry out front and a whole host of guys trying to chase him down.
Oh yeah, Cole has been fantastic this season, and he is trying to hold on to that points battle. But we are going to jump right into qualifying, Jeff. No time to waste here at the Late Model Shootout Series.
Shout out already to Brooklyn in the Facebook chat, cheering for Peyton Howell. Peyton was pretty quick in practice. I believe he was sitting about 6th on the board, 7th maybe. Alex McCollum was the fastest driver in practice. Josh Cottle led most of practice. He was in early on in this server in this practice session. He was at the top of the board early, so watch out for Cottle. He's got a lot of speed. He's got a couple of fast time awards tonight as they are on the racetrack right now trying to go for that International Short Track Association quick time award. Cottle on the racetrack. I see him completing his first lap, and we'll wait to see lap times come across the board.
It's like Corey Bigley going to jump up to P1 as he finishes his first lap. Seeing cars on the racetrack, Jeff, that actually aren't logging time. So keep Corey Bigley P1. Aaron Nabendroth goes P2. Now Eric Tracy will go P2.
Dylan Bates at the top of the board now, 13.719 for Dylan Bates. Shout out to Josh Parrish, who's hanging out in the Facebook chat. We'll see Josh tomorrow night in the County Road Custom Late Model Challenger Series. So far, Bates, Bigley, Ledbetter now third fastest overall, 13.761 for Ledbetter.
Just trying to find actual cars on the racetrack here as we go through quick qualifying. As you see Grayson Ward on the racetrack in the number 9.
Alex McCollum to the top of the board, 13.631 for Alex McCollum. Parker Traves goes P2. Thomas Axum P3. So Dylan Bates bumped back to 4th. Now make that 5th as Brett Suggs P2, 13.684. He gets bumped. Grayson Ward now to P2.
Wow. Absolute mayhem. Cole Cabry's on the racetrack now in the 54. See where he slots in. He's usually a pretty good qualifier in that car, your points leader. Alex McCollum making some bank. International Short Track Racing Association award winner if he hangs on. Cole Cabry finishing his lap. Where does Cole slot in? Cole jumps to P4 in the 54 car.
4th fastest for your points leader right there in the 54. Still waiting on some drivers. I don't think Josh Cottle's going to get a lap. I think he might have hit the wall on his qualifying run. He's going to end up not making a qualifying lap. Lucky for him, I believe we're going to have the return of the slow dash tonight, so I don't think anybody's going to miss the main event.
Ugh, the slow dash. I say that horribly. That's terrible. Elliot Carlson would jump up to P18. If we were looking for guys that were going to transfer right out of qualifying, Elliot Carlson would be the last guy on time. So the top 18 going to go out, will go into the A main directly, and then we'll have a group of cars that are going to run a slow dash. That group is actually going to be pretty big, Jeff, as we had 27 cars sign in tonight, and I believe we lost 1.
Yeah, I believe that was Magnum Tate. He joined us for just a few moments in practice and then called it quits. So we're going to have 26 drivers, I believe, starting tonight. So, Bill, that does set us up for a slow dash tonight. On the pole for that slow dash, the 25, that's Devin Rogers. On the outside of him in the 81 car, it'll be Rick Rube.
Go ahead and take the rest, Jeff.
All right, starting 3rd in the slow dash will be the 52 of Peyton Howell. On the outside of him in the 24 car, that's Colby Bryant. Peter Fisher will roll off 5th. Magnum Tate was scheduled to start 6th, not going to join us here in the slow dash. The 13 of Josh Cottle will start 7th. Del Mears will start 8th in the 112. And then the last starter in tonight's grid, the 18 of Caden Fisher. So everybody going to make the main event. This is just a chance to improve position for the guys that were the last 9 qualifiers in the field. these guys will have a chance to shuffle themselves up and try to improve their starting position before tonight's main event. A little extra track time here, maybe a little bit of an advantage for some of these guys to maybe make a 25 or 20 lap run here in this session and kind of see what the tires are going to do.
I think this would be a nice advantage for drivers that are maybe not as quick in qualifying and just get an opportunity to go out there and have some competition, like you said, figure out what this car is going to do over 25 laps.
Well, here we go. Pace car going to head off the racetrack. Devin Rogers going to take us green flag racing. He does. Peyton Howe got a heck of a jump, but Rogers checked up at the start-finish line. That let Rick Rube battle right back to the outside of him.
Down the back straightaway, Rube to the outside. Here comes Peyton Howe to the inside. That's going to be a battle for that second position. Side by side, about 3 rows deep. Good racing out here in this slow dash.
Rick Rube got a little loose there in the center of the corner. He's going to wash up the racetrack. Here comes Peter Fisher. Peter Fisher looking for P3. He's going to take that spot. He's going to bring his nephew, Caden, behind him.
Fisher gang on the bottom, going to P3, P4. Rick Rube still caught on the outside. Here comes Josh Cottle on the 13. Colby Bryant, the 24. Now Peter Fisher going to get bumped by his nephew. Looks like Caden Fisher going to slot through. He's going to take P3.
So the SD Ireland car is trying to work their way forward, but Peter Fisher got hung out on the outside, and now he's going to lose a spot to Josh Cottle. Now to the 24, Colby Bryant. Here comes Rick Rube. He's going to take that spot back from Peter Fisher. Now, Colby Bryant is sideways on the apron. He's going to head down into the infield. We're going to stay green flag racing.
Out front, Devin Rogers doing a really nice job in the 25 car. He's actually driven away from Peyton Howe. So Devin finding the setup this week to his liking. We've talked to him over in previous weeks, Jeff, and he says the cars are a little bit tight here over at ITZR. They're a little bit looser than the normal sets you'll find in the fixed setup series on iRacing, but he likes cars even looser than we have. But tonight, he looks pretty quick in that 25.
Yeah, Devin coming from the open setup ranks and a little bit different driving styles. Peyton Howe gets a bump from Caden Fisher. That's going to turn the 52 around, and the caution's going to wave here on lap 7 of this slow dash.
So we'll take a quick look to see what happened there between, and I think you saw it, Jeff, as it looked pretty obvious. Peyton kind of walked up the racetrack. That's interesting. Almost looked like he was giving him the spot and then dove back down.
Yeah, Peyton just... I saw him earlier have a kind of a wide entry into turn 1, and he left the door open for Caden Fisher to put the nose down there. And then once Caden did, he didn't react to it. And unfortunately for Peyton, he almost got turned around. He actually saved that car. The caution does end up waving there. But I don't think Caden Fisher necessarily did anything wrong there. I think it's just kind of a racing deal. One guy running a different line than everybody else has been running.
Yeah, you got to be a little more defensive going into turn 1. It's hard for me to even judge. I mean, you watch Josh Cottle behind him. He's kind of in between those two cars. So I feel like Peyton was a little bit high, and Caden took the opportunity. Caden's an aggressive driver. So Caden took the opportunity to try to go by, and they just made contact.
Well, while we're under caution here, shout out to Jeff Bice Sr., who just sent us 50 stars. We appreciate that. That is that's pretty awesome. We got a ton of stars last Tuesday night. I think we almost retired off of what we got last night or last Tuesday.
Last Tuesday was pretty fun, yeah. That was Tanner Carter and I believe Stewie's mom.
Yeah, Chase Stewart's
Chase Stewart,
mom.
yeah. I remember he's Stewie, Jeff. He has it on the windshield, yeah.
Jeff in here, that's my dad. He is cheering for Brett Suggs tonight in the 33 car. Suggs, we'll talk about it in the main event, but Suggs, this is one that got away from Brett Suggs 2 seasons ago. He led almost this entire race here at Hickory and lost it on a green-white checker to Landon Huffman. And I think Suggs wants to win here. This is kind of a home racetrack for him. But we are back to racing in the slow dash. Devin Rogers and the 18 of Caden Fisher out front. Caden working that outside, and look at him go.
Side by side. Devin Rogers was kind of diamonding the corner there in 3 and 4, so probably not getting exactly what he wants out of that 25 car at the moment. Right now, Caden Fisher to the outside, trying to go around Devin Rogers. Looks like he might complete this pass, Jeff.
Yeah, Caden Fisher has found something on the top side. You see Devin have to kind of check up on the exit of the corner. He could not get that car to pick up the throttle without pushing the nose, and that allows Caden Fisher to clear him. Josh Cottle is going to jump to the top side, and he's going to try to pull that 18.
Oh, we've got Peyton Howe again is sideways in 3 and 4. So Peyton Howe is driving a throwback car there. The 52 looks like he's going to park it for this race. As So we get another yellow. Let's try to take a look and see what happened to Peyton as they went into turn number 3.
Well, this time Peyton on the outside. He did stay high, and I think the 24, Colby Bryant, might have walked up the racetrack on entry and made some contact with the 52 of Peyton Howell there.
Yeah, I don't think that one was on Peyton. Try to see if we can get a little better camera angle. Yeah, I think it, wow. Colby just got in the left rear of the 52 car. Peyton, obviously a little bit frustrated, just going to kind of lick his wounds and head back to the pits with the 52, try to tee it up for the A main.
Well, again, everybody's going to transfer on to the main event later tonight, so Peyton just not going to improve his position here, but not necessarily a bad thing if you're trying to go for that Moonlight Speed Hard Charger award. That's just more cars you get to pass in the main event, add to your season total. And shout out to Tanner Carter, who just sent us 15 stars. Tanner, thank you so much. We will see Tanner tomorrow night in the County Road Custom Late Model Challenger Series.
Jeff, he says, let's go, Brett.
Yeah, another one cheering for Brett Suggs. He's going to be popular tonight. This is the home race for Brett Suggs, so he is going to be very popular tonight, I think.
Well, that's not a fair assessment. I'm sorry. But Tanner is, Brett is actually Tanner's marketing guy in Tanner's Real Life Pro Late Model racing. I got an opportunity to see Tanner drive at Tri-County Motor Speedway about a month and a half ago.
Well, here we go. Slow dash is going to be back underway. Caden Fisher on the loud pedal. Devin Rogers did not get a great restart, so that's going to open up the door for Josh Cottle. Here comes Peter Fisher. Rogers got way up the racetrack. He's off the pace now. Maybe something wrong there for the 25.
Yeah, that car just went way up the racetrack, the 25, all the way to the back of this slow dash. Still got 14 laps left. I wonder if Rogers is getting an opportunity to see if something's wrong with the car, or if he just wants to see if he can make laps.
Yeah, very interesting. He ended up way off the pace at the top of the racetrack, let everybody go. So now it's Caden Fisher out front. Josh Cottle trying to chase him down. Cottle, you can kind of see him trying that line that Peyton Howell was using earlier, where he's really opening up turn 1 and swinging that car really wide into the entry of the corner.
I think that's a fine line if you can run that when there's no cars on your bumper, but if you've got somebody behind you that's going to stick their nose in there, kind of have the same thing that you would have the thing happen between Caden and Peyton Howell there, going into turn number 1 with Cottle trying to make some moves. You're trying to get to the back bumper of the 18 car. This Caden doing a nice job out front.
Working lap 15 of this slow dash, 25 laps scheduled for this one. And now Cottle, you can see him. He's trying to open up that entry, trying to find a way around the 18. He gets a nice run down the back straightaway doing it. But again, it's only going to really work if you don't have anybody behind you. If you leave the door open, somebody's going to stick their nose in there.
We saw that already. Well, Caden Fisher did that. Hopefully, looks like Caden's got a really tight line anyway. That's kind of just the line that the 18 car is running. He's just driving it down into the corners. And you can see Cottle moving up about a half lane, trying to get a more of a high in, low out, so you can try to look underneath him down the backstretch. He takes a peek, can't make the move.
Yeah, certainly different driving styles here. You can see it as Cottle really letting that car sail around the outside, middle of the racetrack. Fisher keeping that car pinned to the yellow line. So working out for both of them. I think Cottle may be a little bit faster at this point, but it's going to be hard to pass the 18 if he keeps that thing pinned on the bottom. Now here comes Cottle. He's going to take a look underneath the 18 of Caden Fisher. Fisher now on the outside, going to try to power back around the 13 of Cottle. Cottle moving forward as we're going to see 5 to go when they cross the line.
Oh, that keeps him pinned. They almost make contact on the front straightaway. Make contact in turn number 1 up the track. Fisher going to save it, but they're going to be side by side down the back straightaway.
It's exciting racing here in the slow dash. Remember, whoever wins this race will start 19th tonight in the feature event. Everybody's going to transfer on. Caden Fisher going to try to go back at the 13 on the inside line. Not enough there on the bottom of the racetrack. Cottle's going to pull ahead and finally clear the 18.
Cottle clears Caden Fisher. Good racing up front as we're looking at 3 to go. Caden going to try to get back to Cottle, but yeah, behind him there you can see Peter Fisher, another Fisher in the top 3.
Yeah, he's under pressure from Rick Rube. Rube there in the 81 trying to pick up another spot here from Peter Fisher. Devin Rogers, Colby Bryant behind them. Those are the only 6 cars left on the racetrack as Peyton Howell and Del Mears have called it a night. But off turn 4, Josh Cottle, he's going to see the white flag one more time around in the slow dash. And off turn 4, Josh Cottle going to win the slow dash tonight. Caden Fisher going to go with him to the feature event. Peter Fisher, Rick Rube, Devin Rogers, Colby Bryant, Peyton Howell, and Dell Mears. So Bill, Tanner Carter in the Facebook chat said, if Brett Suggs wins tonight, he will donate 400 stars to the stream.
This is not, we're not bidding for this. This is not. Do we have 500 stars for your driver to win tonight? 1,000 stars sold. Start EOL at everybody. But that's not a bidding. We hope that your hopes and dreams come true, Tanner. But we're gonna watch this race and see who can race it out and who can win.
Well, I can tell you the gods that control the invert again, very angry at ITZR. It is a 9 invert tonight. So your quick qualifier, Alex McCollum, he is going to go back to the 5th row tonight. That's a tall task here at a racetrack like this to make up that much ground. And
I can tell you your International Short Track Racing Association quick qualifier hates inverts. I'm sure I'll get a message from Alex. Can we please make the invert smaller?
Well, Alex did pick up 5 bonus points for that quick qualifying award and $7. So, I mean, it's not all bad. He's already making some money this season.
Jeff, we're going to take a look at the point standings as we come in tonight. Cole Caber, your points leader. Josh Cottle in 2nd. Thomas Axum, a pair of 13s up there in the top 3. He's in 3rd. Daniel Pope, the 2nd, is in 4th. Alex McCollum, and we just talked about him, is in 5th. And this is after a drop week last week. So these guys finally saw a drop week last week, so they were able to drop their worst race. So we saw a shakeup in the point standings. Parker Traves, 6th. Dylan Bates, 7th. Dustin Momberket, 8th. Kelsey Rogers, 9th. And Grayson Ward rounds out your top 10 in the point standings.
Yeah, and big happening tonight. Dustin Momberket not here with us, so that 8th and final transfer spot's probably going to change hands tonight. One of the guys behind him going to probably move up, so Dustin Momberket might find himself in a bit of a hole if he comes back next week.
Cars are gridding on the front straightaway, getting ready for tonight's Wadsworth Motorcars 125 here at the Hickory Motor Speedway. You said it, Jeff, a 9 invert from qualifying. And those gods that you spoke of, Jeff, that is random.org that controls the invert.
Yeah, so the random invert not playing nice here tonight, but that's good news for some of the guys that are going to find themselves on the front row, including this 21 car. Starting on the pole is Aaron Johnson. On the outside of him in the 28 car, that's Corey Bigley.
Starting in the 2nd row in the 3rd position, the 91 car, that is Dylan Bates, and to his outside, the 2-time defending series champion with a new paint scheme this week, Jeff. No more purple. That's Thomas Axum.
Starting 5th tonight will be the 60 of Parker Traves. On the outside of him, your series points leader, the 54, that's Cole Caber.
Starting in the 7th position, making his return to the series in the 33 car, it is Brett Suggs, and to his outside in the number 9, it's Grayson Ward.
Starting 9th tonight will be the 8 of Alex McCollum. On the outside of him in the 10th spot will be the 78, that's Bo Ledbetter.
Starting in the 11th position, not a qualifying effort this guy's going to be happy with, in the 31, that's Daniel Pope, and to his outside in the 67, it's Eric Tracy.
Starting 13th is the return of one of our Challenger Series champions, the 22 of Jordan Harnish. On the outside of him in the 09 will be Elliot Carlson.
Starting in the 15th position, it's Super Zach in the 42, Zach Onan, and to his outside of the number 17 Velocity Motorsports car, that's AJ Rogers.
Kelsey Rogers will start 17th in the number 34 machine. On the outside of him in the 65 car, that's Aaron Abengeroff.
Josh Cottle, we just saw him win your slow dash. He will start 19th, and to his outside, it's the kid, Caden Fisher.
Starting 21st tonight will be the 71 of Peter Fisher. On the outside of him, in the 81 machine, it's the ravishing one, Rick Rube.
Starting in the 23rd position, led a lot of laps, or quite a few laps in that slow dash. That's Devin Rogers, and to his outside in the 24, Jeff Gordon machine, that's Colby Bryant.
And on your final row tonight, your final starters in the 25th position, the 52 of Peyton Howell. On the outside of him, the 112. That'll be Dale Mears, 26 cars strong here tonight for the Wadsworth Motorcars, 125. And Bill, that means we just got one more thing to do before we go green. We got to pick our winners.
Oh, goodness. Wow. All right, number 60, Parker Traves.
That is a good pick. I'm going to go even further into this field. I'm going with that 9-car, Grayson Ward. He nearly won this race in the Challenger Series just a year ago. A jumped restart ended up kind of killing him, taking him out of that chance to win. But he had so much speed at this racetrack. I'm going to go with him, the number 9, Grayson Ward. And as I say that, Misty Ward in the Facebook chat, she's cheering for Grayson Ward too. I think that's her pick as well.
Come on, somebody go Parker Traves. So no, I need some help here. But Parker's been on fire. He's been having a really good season in that 60 car, and in real life as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing if he can make his way forward. But Aaron Johnson and Corey Bigley going to lead us to the green flag.
Pace car is off the racetrack. Aaron Johnson gets to control this start. He is off and away, and we are racing in the Wadsworth Motorcars 125. Here comes Dylan Bates. He's already looking for second. Parker Traves is shooting for third now.
Corey Bigley up the racetrack in the 28, almost 3 wide down into turn number 3, and they are, barely 3 wide. Here comes Brent Suggs to the inside. Thomas Axum goes by Corey Bigley. Brent Suggs and Bigley will be side by side in turn number 1. Here comes the 54, Cole Cabry.
Cole Cabry going to try to move underneath Corey Bigley. Bigley just did not get a great restart, could not find a hole in line, and now he's going to fall way into this field already. Here comes Alex McCollum, your quick qualifier. He's already on the move.
McCollum making moves. Corey Bigley able to find his way in line. That'll be in front of Daniel Pope in the 31. Corey, unfortunately, goes from the second outside starting position all the way back to 8th.
Well, Aaron Johnson out front in the 21 machine. Dylan Bates behind him. Parker Traves, Thomas Axum, Brett Suggs, your top 5. Points leader, Cole Cabry running 6th. Your quick qualifier, Alex McCollum 7th. Corey Bigley back to the 8th position. Daniel Pope already moved up to 9th there on that start. Bo Ledbetter currently sitting 10th. Here comes Grayson Ward. He's going to try to get back underneath Ledbetter, and he's going to try to move back into the top 10.
Grayson Ward underneath Ledbetter. He'll make that move. Eric Tracy not able to make anything happen in the 67. Ledbetter going to get back to Grayson Ward's back bumper, going down the back straightaway, but can't do anything with it. Single file, nose to tail, all these drivers, and we go yellow. Not sure what happened. Not seeing any cars around.
Caden Fisher might have had a moment on the back straightaway. I don't know if he actually went all the way around, but I think it was just a situation. He was so sideways. And actually, yeah, he did end up 360ing that car down the back straightaway.
Pick him up as he goes down the front straightaway. Down through turns 1 and 2 here on this replay. Oh, and Devin Rogers going to get a little front end damage from that one. But Caden, that's an all by myself moment.
Just a little too much on the pedal there, coming off the corner on cold tires. It takes a little bit for these tires to get warmed up, get some temperature and some air pressure in them. And unfortunately, Caden Fisher just getting a little too much too early there. Spins her around, but he's going to continue on. I don't think any significant damage to Devin or Caden Fisher. Devin's going to come down pit road and try to do some work.
Those are teammates. So damaged cars in the team garage. You can see Devin Rogers front end of that number 25. Just a little bit of damage. Probably won't hurt him a tremendous amount here at Hickory, but not something you want to have happen early in this race.
Well, there's going to be quick cautions tonight because the pace car lights are already out. They are doubling them up. Aaron Johnson, Dylan Bates now on the front row, and we saw Corey Bigley struggle on the outside line, but Caden Fisher made some progress on the outside in that slow dash. So I don't think the outside is going to be as bad here as we saw last week at the Bull Ring.
Yeah, definitely not one of those tracks where the outside is that bad. Here we are, green flag racing. Dylan Bates able to make it down in front of Parker Traves and Thomas Axum, so he'll drop into the second spot. Parker Traves and Axum will be side by side for that 3rd position.
Aaron Johnson got a little sideways off turn 4. That kind of stacked up the guys behind him. The caution is going to wait for an incident again with Caden Fisher in turn 4. Actually, make that Peter Fisher was the uncle this time. The other SD Ireland car went around.
Caden has more damage on the right side of that 18 machine, so he was involved somehow.
Yeah, I think Uncle Pete kind of rolled down the racetrack there at the very end of that one. Just caught Caden in the right rear. The wreck started a little bit before that when Peter got up into the wall down the back straightaway, and then some contact with Peyton Howell.
Oh, and he does. He does get down into his nephew there as they went through turns 3 and 4. There's Uncle Pete into the wall. I think just 3 wide racing up there. Pete lost a ton of momentum when he caught the wall. Peyton just kind of down there. Peyton actually might have made contact with Aaron Abendroth going down into turn number 3. There's not a lot of room there. And then Uncle Peter, he just gets down into the nephew. Put some damage on that right side of that 18 car.
So the SD Ireland machine is going to tag the rear of the field, but it's still plenty of time here. 125 lap race, this tiny little racetrack. A lot can happen, so it's not over yet for the SD Ireland cars. I just got to get back to it, and survival is going to be the name of the game here tonight. I think this track can get really rough, and when things go wrong here, it happens big. I mean, a wreck here could pile up a lot of cars very quickly.
Yes, it is a narrow racetrack. It actually looks wider than it is. The line here is narrow.
And it's so bumpy. I mean, you can watch the cars go around the track here, just kind of bouncing up and down. That's just how bumpy the racetrack is. A very, very old surface. I think we talked about it last season. We had figured it out that this place had really never been repaved before.
I don't recall that it has. I don't recall when it was paved. I do know some of the tracks in the area how old the surface is, but this one it is extremely. And when you go see it, I've been there. It just looks old and rough. And here on the iRacing service, it is no different than what it is in real life. I mean, they laser scan this thing. It's got every bump, and it just bounces you around the racetrack, and it's a wild ride.
Well, here we go. Pace car lights are out once again. Aaron Johnson, Dylan Bates, Parker Traves, Thomas Axum, your top 4. Brett Suggs currently running 5th. Pace car going to head off the racetrack. Aaron Johnson gets to control this start. He is off and away. He's going to leave Dylan Bates sitting behind, but Bates got a decent restart. He's going to get back down into 2nd. Parker Traves, Thomas Axum, a little contact. Gets Axum up the racetrack.
Looked like they made a little bit of door contact down into turn number 1. Axum up the racetrack. Here comes Brett Suggs in the 33. Move Parker Traves up to the 3rd position. Suggs up to 4th. Axum back to 5th.
Cole Cavery sitting in the 6th position. Alex McCollum 7th. Then you got a battle between Bigley and Daniel Pope. Pope on the inside. Now the cautions get away for an incident further back in the field. I saw A.J. Rogers around. It looks like Peter Fisher might have got involved as well.
A.J. Rogers might have been the first car to go around, Jeff. Heard the tire squeal. Might have caught it on camera. I'm not so sure.
Looks like he got together with Jordan Harnish down the back straightaway, and that set off a pretty large wreck. And we talked about it. It can stack up a lot of cars quick here, and that's what happened.
What happened there? Harnish just right rear hooked him.
Yeah, Harnish just down the racetrack a bit. I think he got a little loose coming off turn 2. That car made a move to the inside, just hooked the 17 into the wall. He gets a piece of Peyton Howell, Colby Bryant involved. I see Peter Fisher, Eric Tracy involved. So a bunch of cars stacking up quickly there.
Let's take a look at this one more time, see if we can get let's go to the chopper cam. That'll be fun. The Elite Performance Industries chopper cam. Yeah, I just think Harnish is just down the track just a tick. I can't see that AJ is anywhere where he shouldn't be. And Harnish just gets loose and right rear hooks him. Ugh. Unfortunate for all those drivers that were caught in that.
Jordan Harnish, former Challenger Series champion. He kind of took last season off, and then he's finally come back to join us here on Monday nights. But good to see Jordan back in the series.
Good driver. Good Jordan Harnish, excellent driver. He had a fantastic season, obviously, in the Late Model Challenger Series.
A couple other former champions in this one. The 18 of Caden Fisher, Challenger Series champion. Last season's champion not here. We got to figure out what happened with Felix Gratton. He's signed up to race. We haven't seen him all season yet, but hopefully Felix will make some appearances here as the season moves on.
Yeah, we were looking forward to Felix running in the series. Winning the Challenger Series championship is I mean, you've seen the Tuesday night series. It is no slouch. So when when you win that one, it gets pretty exciting. You get to move with race with these guys, and these guys are unbelievable. So we were hoping to see what Felix can do, but hasn't been around this season.
Well, here we go. Pace car back off the racetrack. Aaron Johnson, Dylan Bates again on the front row. Aaron got another fantastic restart, and it's, again, good enough for Dylan Bates to slot right back behind him. Parker Traves on the outside, but Brett Suggs is on his way. He's going to pick up 2 for 1. No contact with Dylan Bates. He's going to spin. Caution is out.
Dylan Bates got... Oh, Daniel Pope's into the infield wall. Dylan Bates got all kinds of evil loose coming off of turn 2. And just kind of, well, was just stopped in front of the field, really. I mean, it's... Here you go down through turns 1 and 2 here on the replay. You just see Dylan Bates get really loose, and I'm not sure anybody can do anything.
Yeah, Bates held on to it, but he was so slow down the back straightaway. Parker Traves just nowhere to go. He made a move to try to avoid the 91, and then ended up actually contacting him and getting him sideways again, and that just stacked everybody up behind him.
There might have even been a little bit of net code there, Jeff, as you can see Traves try to lift. I mean, he actually gets into him, but I'm not sure anything Traves could do.
Yeah, Parker was just doing what he needed to do on the back straightaway. He had a trail of cars behind him. Bates just slowing down on the back straightaway, holding onto that car, and unfortunately, he was just kind of a sit and duck at the wrong place.
Wow, Thomas Axum, what a fantastic job he did avoiding Bates as he was sideways. A lot of cars did a really good job. A couple guys that couldn't avoid anything. Daniel Pope in the 31, he gets big damage. And probably Grayson Ward gets some damage on the front of that. Daniel Pope has all kinds of problems as he ends up in the infield, in the pit lane, running into the inside of the pit lane wall.
So Daniel Pope going to rejoin at the end of the field. Dylan Bates actually held on to that car, so he lost some spots, but it isn't going to be as bad. He's going to restart in the 6th position. As pace car is off the racetrack, we're going to have a single file restart this time for Aaron Johnson.
Aaron Johnson takes the green flag. Parker Traves going to be there in 2nd. Traves kind of struggles through 1 and 2. Did you notice at the last restart, he was way behind Dylan Bates. Bates had a really good restart once he dropped into 2nd, but then got loose. The Traves just kind of struggles a little bit on the initial start, but we've seen him gain speed in the short runs we've had so far.
Brett Suggs in the 33 machine starting to put the pressure on Traves. And of course, he's got some guys behind him that are pretty darn fast. That's Thomas Axum and Alex McCollum, former champions in this series. They are starting to put the pressure on Brett Suggs as well. So Parker Traves isn't going to have a lot of time here to start getting going here and put the pressure on Aaron Johnson, because there are some guys behind him that are on the move.
We've talked about how great the field is in this series, and you've got that whole field stacked behind you, especially when there's an invert. All the cars that are behind you out-qualified you, so that's a difficult spot to be in. Aaron Johnson really doing a fantastic job out front. He's got about a car length lead on Parker Traves at the moment. And then, like you said, Jeff, all those cars stacking up behind them.
Aaron Johnson got a little sideways that time on entry to turn 1. That kind of cost him some time as Parker Traves starting to close in now on the 21 machine. Aaron has led every lap so far as we work lap 36. The caution is going to wave Peter Fisher and AJ Rogers around. Those two have had some trouble already tonight, and they are around in turn 4.
That may or may not have saved Aaron Johnson's. Peter Fisher already brought it back to pit lane. AJ out on the backstretch.
Looked like Pete got sideways off turn 2. Then he was kind of rolling slowly down the racetrack.
Oh, goodness. And then just didn't turn going into turn 3? What happened there?
Yeah, I think he was trying to get back on the throttle and just he just entered the corner so low that that thing just washed up the racetrack, and AJ Rogers trying to roll by on the top. He got turned around.
The good news is for AJ that he backed her in with the rear end, and these cars really don't take much damage with the rear end unless you really kill it. Let's figure out what happened to Peter just a little bit before that. It looks like he might just catch the apron down in 1 and 2. Yeah, catches the apron, gets sideways, saves it. Then goes into turn 3 and just doesn't quite get to the bottom of the racetrack. Don't know if AJ knew he was going to be down there or not. AJ didn't stay very high either.
Well, we are back under caution here on lap 39. That is our 5th caution of the race, and kind of something we expected here at Hickory. This track has averaged quite a few cautions. It's such a tight racetrack, and it's so difficult to drive because of those bumps that it really is hard to get around this racetrack. So I kind of expected quite a few cautions here, even with the challenge or the late model shootout series having been so clean this season. Some really good, hard, clean racing all year long. This is going to be a really difficult racetrack for that. So right now, I think we're kind of on pace to what we expected.
Yeah, these guys have been fantastic all season long. So few cautions, and every race has been really, really good with all these drivers involved. And like you said, Jeff, this is a different animal. Hickory can be great or it can be evil, and so far tonight it's been pretty awful, pretty mean.
Well, we have lost Peter Fisher in this one, so 25 cars still on the racetrack. The 25th car, Daniel Pope, he's still on the lead lap. Pace car is going to head off the racetrack. It'll be Aaron Johnson, now Parker Traves for the first time on the front row. And Parker got a fantastic restart. He is right there door-to-door with Aaron Johnson.
Battling on the outside, Parker Traves looks for this lead in this race. He actually did lead the last lap. So he just barely beat Aaron Johnson on the line. He had a great restart. Kind of guessed when he was going to go, and here comes Parker Traves to the outside trying to take away this lead. Thomas Axum trying to follow him.
Yeah, Axum going to jump to the top side now. He's going to try to go around the 21 of Aaron Johnson. Johnson on the inside. You see Brett Suggs there behind him. Dylan Bates going to jump out to the outside as well. He's seeing that outside line moving. He says, why don't I jump out there and try to pick up some spots?
This is something you don't see on iRacing at all. Unless you're at Irwindale, you see the outside making some moves, but sometimes that happens when the bottom starts to stack up. Right now, Aaron Johnson just struggling a little bit in that 21 car as some of these guys started trying to go around him.
Yeah, Aaron Johnson, though, he is holding off Thomas Axum, and Brett Suggs, now, he had an opportunity to jump to the outside. I think he decided to stick to the bottom. I think he's got some faith in the 21 that he's going to move forward here, and he's going to try to hang up on the inside and try to get back around Thomas Axum.
Axum into the wall down the back straightaway. A few sparks from the 13 car. Whew, they are tight down through turns 3 and 4.
Yeah, and Aaron Johnson's car got a little tight that time through 3 and 4. That kind of washed him up the racetrack, really checked up everybody behind them. Out front, Parker Traves is checking out on the field as they are all stacked up behind the 21. Brett Suggs trying to inch forward to Thomas Axum. He does have the 3rd position that time by, but Axum on the outside, I don't think he's done yet. He's trying to fire back.
He's trying to make it happen. Here comes Alex McCollum, your International Short Track Racing Association Quick Time Award winner. He's trying to take away that 4th spot, so Alex making his way forward to the 8 car.
Caution is out for an incident further back. Devin Rogers and Colby Bryant are turning around on the back straightaway.
Take a look and see what happened to those 2 drivers.
Looked like Devin Rogers got into the left rear quarter panel. Colby Bryant there on entry to turn 3.
Try to determine whether or not he had the position on him or not. It's hard to see. See if it's a really late move or if he was making that move for a while. Kind of a late move from the 25 car. Had a run, felt like he could get in a little better, but can't dive in. We call that something, Jeff.
Yeah, it's a C car don't hit car situation. Now Devin, he's trying to get to the inside, and it was about turn into the corner when he finally pulled alongside the 24, and that's just a little too late. Sometimes people call that a bit of a dive bomb. I don't think that is necessarily a dive bomb. Just a little aggressive there on entry of the corner.
I heard in the NASCAR Cup Series, they're calling that being chastained now.
Yeah, I did see that. Kyle Busch said he got chastained. Not a good sign when other drivers start using your name to refer to getting wrecked.
Right. Never good when they're just you become the guy that is known for that. Not that he doesn't make it exciting though. I got to give it to Ross.
Yeah, it's just something to do with those Gibbs cars, isn't it? It seems like it's just those 4 drivers that he has an issue with.
Honestly, I have no problem with that. I really don't.
Well, I believe we're going to see the pace car lights go off this time, and Parker Traves, he's going to take the outside. Now, as the leader, he gets the option to choose where he wants to start, and he says, hey, I want this outside to work for him to get the lead. He wants to be out there this time. That's going to put Aaron Johnson on his inside in second place. Brett Suggs, Thomas Axum, Alex McCollum, Cole Cabry up front.
That is an interesting choice by Parker Traves. We'll have to see how that works out.
Parker got a fantastic restart, and he is off and away. Here comes Axum again. Axum tried to get around Aaron Johnson last time on the restart on the outside, was not able to complete the pass. And again, the 21 trying to fight back.
Aaron Johnson to the inside. This is huge for position. Axum had started to slide back in that 13 car, and it looked like he was in trouble. The yellow kind of saved him. He stayed up there in the 4th position as he was battling with those other drivers around him. And now he's battling for second, but now Aaron Johnson's starting to make the move on the bottom. If Axum can't stay up there, he'll start sliding back.
Here comes Alex McCollum. He threw that thing up the inside of Brett Suggs, trying to take that spot away from Suggs. Suggs is going to try to shut the door, not able to get there. Now they're like stacking up off turn 4, almost 3 wide there. Suggs now stuck to the outside.
Suggs to the outside of Axum. Look at this racing as Suggs is going to try to move to the outside here at Hickory.
Suggs now on the outside of Alex McCollum. The battle for 4th on the racetrack. Parker Traves out front. Aaron Johnson has cleared Thomas Axum. Axum slotted into 3rd right in front of this battle. Caution is going to wave trouble in the back. And that is Eric Tracy around in the middle of turns 1 and 2.
Wow, what racing we have out front. Those guys were just getting after that McCollum move on Suggs. That was a surprise, and a great job by both of those drivers not getting into any kind of incident. This aggressive racing that looked really good.
This one was between Eric Tracy and Colby Bryant, and those two got together going into turn 1, and I got a quick glimpse at the replay, and man, that's going to be a tough call. It's hard to tell whether I think the 24 was there, but man, just a slight touch sent the 67 around.
Yeah, I don't think Colby really does anything wrong there. He's down there. They were pretty much side by side coming out. Well, they were side by side through 3 and 4. Eric gets a good run, tries to go to the bottom, and Colby's still there. Colby's entering on the bottom side. Really can't see any fault with the 24 car. Fortunately for Devin Rogers, he comes in a little bit later and gets involved as well. So let's set the field for everybody here as we have been. I really wish we could stay green as these guys are getting after it up front. Parker Traves is your leader. Aaron Johnson there in the 21 car. He is running in 2nd. Thomas Axum is running in 3rd. He was able to make the move around Brett Suggs. And stay up there after that restart.
Looking at the Facebook chat, Chris Ireland in the chat cheered for Caden Fisher. That's those ST Ireland machines. Cody Hunley in the chat, he was asking about the Parker Traves and Aaron Johnson restart when Parker led that lap coming to the green. Now we say that you can't beat the leader to the start-finish line. It's a situation where Parker Traves, I mean, he beat him by a nose. He didn't have a car length on him. He didn't have a door on him, not even a fender. So to me, that's a clean restart. But of course, it's always open to interpretation.
Yeah, beating them is like you can't clear him going to the start finish or have a half a car length on him type deal.
Well, here we go. Pace car off the racetrack. Parker Traves off and away again. Suggs now trying to fire back on the outside. He kind of got cut off there at the start finish line. Had to check up. Aaron Johnson going to try to hold on to 2nd.
Aaron Johnson on the bottom. Here comes Suggs on the top, trying to do what Thomas Axum did on the last restart. It's Aaron Johnson getting pinned to the bottom of that 21 car. We're going to have a battle for that 2nd spot.
And Aaron's done a great job forcing these guys to try to go around the top side. He has given up nothing on the bottom. And right now, keeping that 21 pin to the yellow line, that's what he needs to do. And he has made it tough for them to get around. And right now, everybody gets to the outside of him, just struggles, and they end up losing a spot every time they try to make a pass on him.
Well, Aaron Johnson is a fantastic driver. No slouches.
Caution.
We'll go yellow once again. These guys cannot figure out how not to run into each other at this point.
Elliott Carlson and Del Mears got together on the front straightaway. Elliott hard into the outside wall going into turn 1, and that triggered that yellow.
Starting to look like a Challenger Series race out here. This is, that's terrible. I shouldn't say that about those guys. We haven't seen them race here this week, so.
Well, it's always gone that way. When one has a bad race, the other has a great race. So, I mean, we can only expect tomorrow night that we might go just caution-free or something tomorrow night. You never know.
So this one, Jeff, this one's another interesting one. As we get, looks like Dell just comes up and, well, kind of cleans Elliott out.
Yeah, Dell up the racetrack there, crosses that white line. You kind of see that that white line there separating the lanes on the front straightaway. Dell is 2 tires over it, and he kind of door slams Elliott Carlson and sends the 09 for a ride. Josh Parrish in the chat said, "Is this Hickory or Bowman Gray?"
You're not kidding.
I feel like if it was Bowman Gray, we'd see some fighting or something rather than just the crashing.
Driving down in the infield and running into cars after the races or after your wreck. Honestly, we've run flat. Last year we ran the Nashville Mini, and that was a super fun race. Both races there were pretty good.
Yeah, I remember running a late model race at ITZR at the Atlanta Legends Oval, and that race was actually a ton of fun. I remember that one being a actually fantastic track, better than I expected that one to go.
When you don't gain a ton of speed, these cars don't lose grip as quickly, if that makes sense. When you're not on the edge of what the tires can do, you can kind of beat and bang a little bit on those smaller tracks, and that's kind of what we saw last season at the Mini, Nashville Mini, and that would be the case if we ran these cars at the Atlanta track. But what's nice about the Atlanta track is it's flat. The front straightaway doesn't have like any kind of banking to it, so it's like a flat quarter mile.
Well, we are doubled up once again. Parker Trey is going to choose the outside. Aaron Johnson still on the inside in that second position. And here we go, pace car off the racetrack. Parker going to take a green flag racing again. And Thomas Axum going to try to jump to the outside again as well.
We've seen guys cycling this. Oh, and Axum gets bumped from Brett Suggs. I don't know if that might have been netcode, but they're going to be side by side, make it 3 wide down the back straightaway. Axum to the outside, and the 13 car has to give it up. There goes Dylan Bates. There goes Cole Cabry. So Axum disaster on that restart.
And here comes Grayson Ward. He's going to try to pick up a spot as Axum again stuck on the outside, now way back in the 7th position. Grayson Ward going to try to take that 7th spot away from him. He will at the line that time. He is clear of the 13. Axum right in front of the 78 of Bo Leveter. Now contact's going to send Dylan Bates around. The 91 spinning in the little turn 2.
That looked like another situation with more net code there, Jeff. That didn't look like there was any contact between anybody and Dylan Bates. It just looked like that car snapped. But we'll take a look at it on replay. Maybe Grayson Ward? That's going to be hard to...
Yeah, I think there was some contact between Grayson Ward and Dylan Bates, but I'm watching where Grayson Ward is on the racetrack. He's got that car pinned to the yellow line, and Dylan Bates is on his right front fender. And I think just the situation, somebody trying to pinch really hard there.
I'm still feeling, maybe we should go to drone cam on this one. I still feel like that there's just... Yeah,
and I think where you might see the net coding coming in is where Thomas Axum is on the back bumper of the 9. And that predictive code says, oh, you hit the 9 car, you're going to push him up the racetrack. Except Grayson Ward didn't go up the racetrack.
And that was netcode. That's exactly what we talk about when we say netcode. You saw in the replay that there was no contact made between those cars, but Dylan Bates' car thinks there is. And you see the 91 go around. So unfortunate for Dylan Bates, was having a great run tonight in the 91 car, and now has a ton of work to do with... Well, not a whole lot of laps to do it, as we are within 50 laps at the end of this race. Even with all these cautions, Jeff, this place ticks off pretty quick.
Well, yeah, things starting to tick away here. Lap 78 as we are under our 9th caution of the event. Parker Traves, Aaron Johnson up front, Brett Suggs, Alex McCollum now up into the 4th position. Remember, he started 9th after setting fast time. Cole Cabry running 5th. Grayson Ward will restart 6th. Thomas Axum. Finally, Axum's going to restart on the inside. Unfortunately, he's all the way back to 7th now before he finally gets that inside restart. Bo Ledber will be 8th, Corey Bigley 9th, and Josh Cottle, who started 19th tonight after winning the slow dash, he is up to the top 10.
One thing we do know about Thomas Axum, though, Jeff, you can never count him out.
Yeah, I don't think we saw the loss of the 13 machine tonight. I think he will get back up there. He is a heck of a short track driver, and yeah, he's not done yet. There's still plenty of time for Thomas Axum.
But if you asked him, he'd like to get into his rhythm. You know what I mean? We've talked about it many times with Thomas. He's a rhythm driver. Needs some green flag runs.
Green flag is back out. Parker Traves to the front. Aaron Johnson into 2nd. Here comes Alex McCollum. He's trying to roll the top, trying to take 3rd, maybe even looking for 2nd.
Alex McCollum in the 8 goes to the top side. Now he gets a little bit too hard into turn number 3, loses some momentum. Here comes Brett Suggs to the inside. McCollum almost clear. Suggs to the bottom.
Fantastic racing for the 3rd spot. Suggs not giving up. Alex McCollum trying to get down in front of the 33, but Suggs not giving him anything. He's going to keep that 8-car pinned to the outside.
Side by side through turns 1 and 2. Suggs to the bottom. Alex McCollum outside. Here comes Cole Cabry in the 54. And Axum makes contact with Grayson Ward. You saw that to the right of your screen as they make contact down the back straightaway. Here comes Bo Ledbetter.
Yeah, that's going to open up the door for Bo Ledbetter to try to get back into the top 7 positions there. As Grayson Ward, he's trying to fight back. And now caution is going to wave another incident coming from the rear of the field. And I see Peyton Howell around. I think Zach Oden might have been involved as well. And I said rear of the field, but they were actually running about 12th on the racetrack.
They are heading through 1 and 2. Oh. I think Zach just checked up a little bit in front of Peyton Howell.
Yeah, that was a weird incident. Zach is on the inside of Josh Cottle.
Doesn't lose a ton of speed.
Yeah, that is a really odd incident there. His car just slows down coming off the corner, and you see the 52 of Peyton Howell. He picks up the throttle. He is racing with Caden Fisher, so he picks up the throttle, and Zach Oden just hasn't gone yet.
I think that camera 4 shot was the best one we had of it. That's a strange.
And I'm watching the momentum of the 42. He actually starts to drive down onto the apron like he's just off the pace.
I think he was going to try to cut lower and then hit the gas. Instead of getting up into the 13, I think he was worried about hitting Josh Cottle.
And it completely caught Peyton Howell off guard. I don't think there's anything Peyton can do in that situation.
So back under caution. Is this the 10th time, Jeff?
Yeah, 10th caution tonight. I think that's the most cautions we've had all season for the challenge or for the shootout series. Maybe even more cautions than we've had all year combined. So, rough start a little bit here, but things are getting really racy up front. Most of the cautions coming from the rear of the field. Some of the guys that are really struggling around here.
So while we're under all these cautions, it gives everybody an opportunity to go look at WadsworthMotorcars.com. Check out some of the really nice cars they have on that website. I like to look at it from time to time, to be honest.
Yeah, if you're anywhere near Ohio looking for a used car, check them out. As we go back to Green Flag Racing in the Wadsworth Motorcars 125, here comes Alex McCollum. He has got a nice restart there in the 2nd spot. He's trying to go for 2nd over Aaron Johnson.
Aaron Johnson going to try to fight back on the inside down turn number 3. We haven't seen the outside prevail unless the bottom gets checked up. Aaron going to slide up a little bit. They almost make contact off of turn number 4. Side by side down into turn number 1. Aaron trying not to get into the 8 car.
Little contact from Thomas Axum on Brett Suggs. Got Suggs sideways off turn 2. That's going to open up the door for Axum on the inside. Suggs gives him room, but can he clear him going into turn 1? He cannot. They are side by side now behind him for 4th.
So Axum now trying to make a rally as he slid back on one of the restarts. Now McCollum gets to the bottom. He'll fall in behind Aaron Johnson. Now the battle's going to be for that 5th position, actually making the 4th position, is Thomas Axum going to take that away from Suggs, and now McCollum going to try to figure out how to get past Aaron Johnson.
Big moment for Grayson Ward further back in the field. He tried to get under Cole Camry, got sideways, had a big save on the 9 car, and now the caution is going to wave AJ Rogers is sideways in turn 1, sitting up against the wall.
I think AJ Rogers is getting paid per wreck this race. He's had a rough night. This is not a night that AJ Rogers is going to want to remember.
Yeah, and he got a little help going down the front straightaway. That was Rick Rube that got into him. And AJ, just kind of the victim there, got turned around going into turn 1, got into the wall pretty hard.
Well, same thing we saw one of the last wrecks. Del Mears got up into Elliott Carlson. This time, kind of the same thing. You come off turn 4, the car bounces a little bit on you, unfortunately, and that's kind of what happened to Rick Rube. His car started bouncing. Just got up there in the left rear of AJ Rogers, and Rogers goes around.
So our 11th caution of the night here at Hickory. Jimmy in the chat cheering for Bo Ledbetter. Bo running in that 7th position. Now Bo was in our race preview as a guy we could expect to be running up front. Look at him go up front again. Won the Challenger Series race here last season, so definitely gets around this racetrack really well. He's been kind of stuck about that 7th spot. Every time he gets an inside restart, the caution comes out, he starts outside. So just you got to get these restarts timed right, and if they just fall his way, I think he could probably crack the top 5 here tonight.
I think Bo Ledbetter is one of those guys in this series that his time is coming. I think he's going to pick up a win here. If not this season, then probably next. I think it is coming. I think we're going to see that 78 car in Victory Lane in the Late Model Shootout Series.
Yeah, another one of those guys out there trying to get his first win, Aaron Johnson in the 21. He has been so close, and this is exactly the type of racetrack that Aaron Johnson is so good at. We've seen him run well at the Nashville Mini and Oxford and those kind of places, and this is the type of racetrack Aaron Johnson likes, and look at him go. He's running 2nd right now. Probably going to be a career finish if he can hold on.
Don't doom him. Oh, now you said it. Why'd you do it? Oh, poor guy. Sorry, Aaron. Jeff did it.
Well, we'll just hope for the best here that Aaron doesn't get turned around late in this one. Shout out to Tanner Carter for 15 stars. Thank you so much, Tanner. I hope you guys are enjoying the race. I hope you're learning a lot for tomorrow night's Challenger Series race. There's a lot to take away from this one, especially this outside restarts that Parker Traves is doing. They seem to be working right now. Ooh, contact from Aaron Johnson.
Well, that got interesting. Now here comes Alex McCollum up to the inside. Aaron Johnson. McCollum with a great restart. He had to back off a little bit not to get into Aaron Johnson's left rear, and they're going to make contact going down in turn 3 as Aaron pinches him. McCollum to the apron to avoid the contact.
McCollum did not get into the 21, but Aaron Johnson's still stuck on the outside now. This is letting Parker Traves pull away as we're within 25 laps to go. Alex McCollum trying to take away 2nd, and Aaron Johnson now he's in the bad position on the racetrack. He gets into the wall. He's going to lose another spot to Thomas Axum.
Oh, and Brett Suggs got contact from Camry. Here comes Ledbetter to the inside. And we'll go yellow. Where did that happen again? Every time it's going to get so exciting.
And Zach Onan went around on the front straightaway. I think some contact between Peyton Howell and Zach Onan turned the 42 around.
Holy cow. That was getting outrageous out front.
Yeah, that was about to get wild up front.
Well, that was initially wow. Peyton Howell just that was initially contact from Zach Onan as they went down into turn number 3. Gets up into the 52 car, and then Peyton kind of just starts collecting things, not seashells and not not bottle caps, but other cars.
Yeah, just Zach Onan got up the racetrack, and then I think he tried to save the 52. Sometimes when you hit somebody, if you get them back in the door again, you can straighten them out. I think that's what they tried to do there, and then they got hooked together, and that just hooked the 42 around. And then Peyton, maybe a little frustrated, trying to get back on the racetrack as quickly as possible, not lose any spots. He ended up causing a little bit more damage there to the 17 of AJ Rogers, who is not having a fun night.
No, AJ not. Pretty. I'm going to avoid AJ after the race, probably. He's winning the Donald Clark. What did I do to deserve this award tonight? Honestly.
Yeah, Donald not racing with us tonight, so somebody's got to take the abuse.
Right.
See Elliott Carlson on pit road trying to repair some damage to the 09. We still got 20. Oh, actually, Elliott is out of the race, so he's just sitting on pit road at this point watching. So AJ Rogers running 23rd on the racetrack, 1 lap down. Zach Onan running 22nd on the lead lap. But out front, it'll be Parker Traves, and this time he's going to take the inside, and that's going to put Alex McCollum on the outside. So I guess Parker not feeling comfortable giving the inside line to Alex. Now he's going to move to the inside.
Wow, this one, if you guys aren't excited, you want to watch some good racing, hopefully these guys get some green flag runs, but Pace Car is going to get off the racetrack, and here comes Parker Traves, and McCollum's going to clear Axum. That's going to put those top 3 up front.
Alex McCollum going to slot down in front of Thomas Axum. The battle is on for 4th. Aaron Johnson on the outside of Brett Suggs. Those guys are battling real hard for that position. Behind them, here comes Bo Ledbetter. Ledbetter, he's going to try to move up into the top 5. I said it earlier, he could crack the top 5 here. Here he goes, and now Aaron Johnson's going to go around in 1 and 2.
And the green stays out. Aaron Johnson into the wall. He will fall all the way back to the 21st position as he's going to be the outside of Aaron Abadroth. So Aaron Johnson, disaster late in this race.
Cole Cabry is running 6th behind them. Josh Cottle, Grayson Ward, they're having a fantastic battle for the 7th position. Give it to Cottle right now, but Grayson Ward on the outside. He is not done yet. Up front, Alex McCollum is all over the back bumper of Parker Traves as we work lap 111 of 125 here.
Alex McCollum looking to make his move in that 8 car. He was your quick qualifier tonight. Parker Traves doing a great job out front in the 60.
Bo Ledbetter up the racetrack.
He had his own moment there as he went into turn number 1. Here comes Cottle to the inside.
That's going to open up the door for Josh Cottle. Cottle going to try to move up into the 6th position. Ledbetter up the racetrack. Here comes Grayson Ward. He's going to try to fill that position as well.
Tight battling. You see how close these guys get through the corners. That's kind of caused what we've seen tonight with all the bumps. These cars just kind of bounce around. They run each other tight through the corners.
Yeah, and shout out to Josh Cottle, who came from that slow dash, as well as Caden Fisher, who's right behind him. Caution is going to wave trouble on the front straightaway, I believe. I think it was Jordan Harnish who went around in the 22 car, and I think it might have just been a self-spin coming off turn 4.
Yeah, you are correct. Just got really high up on the racetrack, I think tried to pull it off the wall and spun the 22 car.
Yeah, up there in the marbles on the throttle, and that's never going to work there, especially this late in the race. The track does build up that loose stuff, those marbles on the top side of the racetrack. As you race on here, the track cools down on the top side because nobody's racing up there, and it just it gets slicker and slicker, and Jordan got way up the racetrack on the throttle, and around he went. Caution is going to wave here on lap 116, but now 117. So we are getting down to crunch time, and Bill, you like to pull out a little saying here as we get down into these final moments of these races.
It's my favorite saying. The price of poker has definitely gone up, Jeff. It is going to get really exciting here going. Well, we have less than 10 laps remaining in this race. Parker Traves, your leader. Alex McCollum, Thomas Axum, Brett Suggs, Cole Cabry, Josh Cottle, Bo. Could you ask for a better field than the top 10 that's sitting in this race right now? Give a shout out. We're not even talking about him, but give a shout out to Caden Fisher, who's all the way up to the 9th spot. Issues early on the 18, and Corey Bigley having a good run tonight in the 28 cars. He's sitting in the 10th spot.
Yeah, he's done a fantastic job tonight as well, and again, we've seen some guys talking about, or at least I've heard some guys talking about it in the voice chat about, some teamwork going on and guys letting drivers in line. As we get down to 5 to go in these restarts here late into this race, all that teamwork is going to go out the window. Nobody's going to let anybody in for any reason whatsoever. If there's a guy on the outside,
I would let you in, Jeff.
Yeah, it doesn't matter at this point who your teammates are. that's just another car you need to finish ahead of. And right now, this is going to make things very interesting because Alex McCollum, he has his teammate Thomas Axum starting third behind them. But I don't think Thomas wants to give up yet. And here we go. Parker Traves off and away. He got a fantastic restart. He is out front of Alex McCollum. Here comes Thomas Axum trying to get underneath Brett Suggs.
Down the back straightaway. Axum going to clear for third. Brett Suggs to the outside of Cole Cabry. They are going to battle. You got Bo Ledbetter and Josh Cottle. They're side by side for the spot behind them. Here comes Caden Fisher in the 18. He's gotten by Grayson Ward. Caden Fisher on fire here lately as he's going to look to the inside of Josh Cottle.
Yeah, Caden Fisher having a fantastic run. Cole Cabry is now trying to move into the fourth spot ahead of Brett Suggs. He's bringing Bo Ledbetter with him. Behind them, Caden Fisher in line with Josh Cottle stuck on the outside. Alex McCollum is right on the back bumper of the 60 car Parker Traves as they cross the line for lap 123.
123, 3 laps remaining in this race, make it 2.5. Parker Traves up onto the backstretch. Can Alex McCollum get to the back bumper? Will he move the 60 car? There's been some bad blood between these two before. Is Alex McCollum willing to make it happen?
Yeah, former teammates and not necessarily friends between these two, but Parker Traves, he has had a fantastic season open setup racing. Alex McCollum, one of the best on iRacing, and he is putting the bumper now to the 60 car as they see the white flag this time.
White flag is out. Parker Traves, your leader. Will Alex McCollum get to the back bumper? Here it comes down into turn number 3.
Off turn 4, McCollum going to give the bumper to the 60, but it's not enough. Parker Traves going to win his first race of the season in the number 60. Takes home the Wadsworth Motorcars 125 here at Hickory. Alex McCollum comes home second. Thomas Axum third. Cole Cabry fourth. Bo Ledbetter going to pick up a top 5.
Running 6, Brett Suggs in the 33 slip back there just at the end. Caden Fisher all the way up to 7th in the 18 car. Josh Cottle 8th in the 13. Grayson Ward 9th. Daniel Pope rounds out in the top 10. That's a great recovery from Daniel Pope as he was wrecked early. Eric Tracy going to come home 11th. Del Mears 12th. Colby Bryant 13th. Dylan Bates 14th. Rick Rube 15th. Aaron Johnson 16th. Devin Rogers 17th. Aaron Abendroth 18th. Peyton Howell 19th. And Corey Bigley obviously had issues there at the end. He went from the 10th spot, fell back to 20th.
Yeah, if we can get a look at that one, because he was running 12th on the white flag lap, and something happened there with Corey Bigley, and I think he might have got turned around. And that is a heartbreaker for Corey.
We will go back and check it out on replay just so we can see what happened to the guy that was running in the 10th spot. I think he had multiple things happen to him, Jeff. Actually, looks like.
I think him and Peyton Howell had it out on the last lap there. And I'm not sure what started all that, but I think Peyton Howell finished it on the final corner. I think he was frustrated with Corey Bigley, and he turned him around.
I think Peyton Howell, I mean, just from what I'm seeing, Peyton Howell basically used up the 28 car for pretty much an entire lap. Just on that replay. We'll have to go back and look at it again because there's always two perspectives, right? But it looked like he got into Corey Bigley, turned him sideways in 1 and 2, and then did it again in 3 and 4, unfortunately. That's what that replay showed. We might have to go back farther.
Well, shout out to Tanner Carter again. He had sent us 15 stars. Josh Parrish said looked like there was extra activity under caution. Misty Ward, too many cautions tonight. I agree, but
Agreed. Absolutely agree.
Hickory, we know it can go that way sometimes, but we do appreciate everybody hanging out with us. We're going to get a chance to talk to our winner, though.
First of all, Jeff, before we talk to him, I'd like to point out who picked him tonight.
Yes, you did. So Parker, Bill picked you tonight, and then you just drove your way to the front. I gotta know, though, coming to the end there, Alex McCollum, he was all over your rear bumper. I know you two have had some bad blood in the past. Did you think that he might just kind of move you out of the way?
Oh, yeah, I was definitely expecting him to move me, but we raced good and kept our calm there.
Parker Traves on fire, man. I talked about it as the race started. I said the 60 car has been on fire lately. He's been great. How about the setup? I mean, is this something that was to your liking? It just kind of seemed to fall in your wheelhouse. You drove to the front and just stayed there all night.
Yeah, the setup was excellent tonight. Kent there at Shaka hit it perfect tonight for fixed racing. I'm not usually too fond of fixed racing because they're usually too tight, but no, this setup was really good tonight.
Well, Parker, you've been really good in open setup racing, and how hard is it to adjust coming back and forth from doing the open setup stuff to the fixed setup stuff? Does it take you some time in practice to adjust to the differences between the setups?
Oh, for sure. I feel like I really struggle at this fixed setup racing. It's definitely not my cup of tea, but it's definitely fun to get over here. The open setup stuff, Daniel Pope's like, he can fine tune a race car to me perfectly. So I have no complaints on the open setup stuff, but I'd like to be better at this fixed racing.
Well, Parker, you are clearly getting better at this fixed racing if you're able to cover this field here at Hickory. But let's talk about possible championship implications here as you pick up a win, and you're gonna be doing well in the point standings after tonight. How do you feel about possibly getting that round to 8 and making a run in the playoffs?
Well, it's pretty stressful. I have an opportunity to run for a championship here, over in the Super Series, and in my real life racing. So got a lot on my plate right now.
Lot going on, yeah. A lot of winning to do, Parker.
Oh, no pressure, right?
Well, Parker, we've seen you be really good on these tight bullring racetracks. Your last win coming at Oxford, now tonight at Hickory. What is it about the tight bullring racetracks that you just love so much?
Just I feel like you really just got to wheel them. The big track racing isn't my forte, I'd say. This short track stuff, like really tracks that you have a lot of wheel spin, I really enjoy, and I feel like that plays to my advantage.
Well, Parker, great tonight, and we always talk about giving everybody an opportunity to shout out the people that help them get here. I know all of your buddies, but why don't you let everybody know who you'd like to thank?
Honestly, I just want to thank you guys for putting on such a great show every week. You guys pour a lot of time into it. All the series sponsors, all of them, and everyone that races here. We try to put on a good show every week. So all of them and my team, 16XCI.
Well, Parker, thanks so much for taking the time to talk with us. Congratulations on your first win of the season. You're in that championship battle now. You get your win halfway through the season. We just got 3 races to go before we set the playoffs, and it looks like you're going to be in a solid position going into that playoff battle.
I hope so, but no promises.
All right, thanks, Parker. We will see you next week at Indy, the Lucas Oil Raceway, coming up next.
Thank you.
Well, then our second place finisher, Alex McCollum, going to join us here in the broadcast booth. And Alex, you got to the back bumper of Parker there. You were working him over pretty good, but you kept it clean. Was there any part of you that kind of just wanted to move that 60 car out of the way?
Yes.
A little bit, yeah. I was gonna try to give him a shot in the last lap, but I realized I was too far back, and I'm not gonna wreck him for it. I was gonna try to move him up just a little bit, just a lane, have a drag race to the line, but I slid the right rear too much coming off a exit of 2, so I kind of drove it a little deep, but I didn't drive it balls to the wall going in 3, and kind of gave him a, I gave him some slack. If if it was anybody else, we'll see.
Wow, so some restraint from the 8 car. I like it. Alex, what I do want to ask you about is you and I have had past conversations about this. How do you feel about an invert of 9 after setting the quick time?
Well, you either like it or you hate it. But tonight, I kind of liked it because I was on the bottom. I'm just trying to get the bonus points. So, um, I mean, I say we do a full car invert next week.
Wow. Coming from Alex, listen to this,
Wow.
Jeff. He wants to start in the back.
Well,
Yeah.
I want to say I'd try and qualify for that week.
Well, Alex, we got to talk to you about the schedule coming up because we're short track heavy here for the next few races. Lucas Oil coming up, then Irwindale Inner. How do you feel about these really short tracks? Do you think it plays into your favor with when all this chaos and guys bumping and rubbing and moving each other out of the way? Does that play in your favor, or is it worry you a little bit that you might get turned around and possibly get taken out of this points battle?
Well, I worry every week. You don't know with these guys. They can be crazy sometimes. But I just go into every race and just race lap by lap, and whatever happens, happens. But that's all you gotta do is just race these races. Like, you can't just think ahead and be like, okay, yeah, I'm good here. But like, you're racing against the best here, so you just gotta race it lap by lap, and whatever happens after lap 100, 150, how long the race is, and wherever you end up, that's where you end up. You can't really force anything here.
We'll talk about next week, Alex. We go over to Lucas Oil Raceway, going to IRP. How do you feel about that racetrack moving forward as we go into the next week? Like you said, you don't want to plan, but everybody has their favorite places to go. Is that one you like?
Yeah, it's one of them. It's not my favorite, but I don't hate it. But it's unique. It's definitely a struggle to pass. So maybe playing the invert's gonna be a big key in that. It's like most tracks where it's so hard to pass. You just gotta wait for the person in front of you to make a mistake. But I think that track's gonna be like where some people are gonna play invert pretty big.
Well, Alex, we always want to give everybody an opportunity to thank the people they need to thank, and you got a lot of names on that 8 car, so go ahead and shout them out right now.
Yeah, I gotta thank JDR Graphics, Duke Matthews Racing, you guys at ITZR for always doing the best you guys can, giving us a place to race on Mondays and Tuesdays. It's always a blast to come here every week. Yeah.
Well, Alex, congratulations. You know, we appreciate your support and having you in the field, man. You did a great job tonight. It was fun to watch, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week.
Thank you.
Well, now our third place finisher going to join us, Thomas Axum. And Thomas, we had a hard time finding you tonight. You had that brand new black machine, and there was a point in the race you got shuffled out on the outside. You went back, I think, about 8th position, and then out of nowhere, you just appeared back in the top 3 again. How do you get from the back to the front like that so quickly?
Yeah, I had Cole and Alex up there, and we were all racing together. And Cole was up there with us, and he fell back, and me and McCollum were up there. And then I also fell back. I said, Cole, this isn't too fun back here. But he also found his way to the front, and I was able to follow him as well. And just, I don't know, the outside wasn't the place to be tonight. Seemed to be my every single time I'd restart up there, and just nothing doing up there. But you just got to dig hard and find the holes, get in, and move forward, march forward.
Yeah, this one seemed to be one of the tougher ones for you, Thomas. Was it kind of an emotional roller coaster out there? As you know, like you said, on the restarts, you ended up on the outside, then you're digging, then you find yourself in 4th again. Now you're on the outside the next restart. We talked to you about being a rhythm driver. You couldn't really get into that tonight. So was it kind of a crazy night? Just feel like you're moving backwards and moving forward?
Yeah, I never got in my zone tonight. We didn't even have any green flag runs that were going to help me. Just never got to rhythm out. Our tires are good to go on the car and go for next week. But yeah, I never got to really feel it out and get a run going. Not a short run guy like you guys know, but it was actually some fun because your heart gets racing on them restarts each time. You don't know whether you're going to spin the tires or if the guy in second's not going to go. So yeah, it was a fun night though.
Well, Thomas, we talked to Parker a little bit because he's been doing a lot of open setup racing. Now, you've kind of moved into the open setup stuff. How big of an adjustment is it coming from fixed setup racing and where everybody has the same thing to doing these open setup races? How much of an adjustment is it each week?
Yeah, I didn't practice at all one night. It was my first race doing that open stuff, and I joined in, no qualify, no practice, started 21st, and drove my way to the front with 25 to go and won that thing with the open setup guys. So either way, same stuff, except you get to practice for 2 weeks and then go into that race, opposed to every Monday you get an hour of practice and boom diggity, and you got to make something happen. Usually we do. I'm not a big practice guy. I just like to feel it out and know what I need for the long run. And yeah, it's not too bad, but I prefer my fixed stuff. I like when everyone's equal, everyone has the same car, and I get to show who's the better driver. That's what I like to do.
That is our saying around here, Thomas. We're looking for drivers, not engineers. So we appreciate you kind of shouting that out. Give us an opportunity to say it. But we talk to you. I think we talk to you every week, Thomas. So we say at the end of the interview, thank everybody that you know. So go ahead and give everybody a shout out. We know who's Bernier's Liquors. We know everything, but just give us give us that list
Yeah.
again.
Peter Bernier's Liquors. I saw another Studio 10 car. He was out front all night and he shuffled back. But shout out to Studio 10 for that new paint scheme tonight with the new contingencies on there. Had to make sure of that. Nice, pretty little car. Going to be switching it up a little often, maybe for the championship race. If we're in the championship, hopefully we are. Get a new car out there in October. Get a new pink car. Just shout out to you guys for calling the show. I love going back and watching them. Even if you don't win, even if you don't finish in the top 5, it's a learning experience. You just figure it out and go on to next week. Not very excited for Lucas Oil. That's going to be a non-passy track, but track position and find that invert. So just looking forward to next week. Shout out to all the guys in the field, Alex, Cole, Goodwin, Parker, and just you guys for calling the show.
Well, thank you, Thomas, for taking the time to talk with us. I did want to ask you one thing because we know a lot of the Challenger Series drivers watch these streams on Monday night. Do you have any advice for them going into tonight? Because it was a little rough out there. What advice would you give them going into their race tomorrow night?
See, I would definitely practice because practice was a lot of dodging, but you have to do a little dodging and weaving, and that will definitely get you ready for the show. But hopefully tomorrow night's a little bit better. Maybe they watched it and saw that you don't need to pass 5 cars on each restart. Get a run going. You do more damage on the long run opposed to passing 1 car every yellow. It just doesn't add up. Focus on the long run and keep the nose clean. A lot of fast cars were up front and didn't end up there. Just being aggressive and not patient. So patience is a virtue.
All right. Well, we appreciate that. And also, I want to thank you for, I think, my new favorite phrase that he just coined right there when he said, you get an hour of practice and then boom diggity. I like that. All right, Thomas. We will see you next week.
Thanks, guys. Hope to talk to you guys.
Well, Bill, that is it for tonight's show. Monday night, the Late Model Shootout Series, a heck of a race up front. I mean, Parker Traves, he started 5th. He finds his way to the front. Alex McCollum, he started 9th. I mean, there wasn't a lack of passing at the front, that's for sure.
No, there was fantastic racing up front. Unfortunately, towards the middle and the back, those guys were having a hard time bouncing through the bumps and kind of making contact with each other and bringing out those yellows. We saw a lot of contact up front, but they kept it going straight, and just a lot of fun racing up there. We'll see what happens tomorrow night. I don't know what to expect from those guys. Some nights, obviously, the first couple races of the season were not so good, and they've cleaned it up since then. So we'll see if they can put one together tomorrow night.
Yeah, I can't wait for tomorrow night's race. Again, the County Road Custom Late Model Challenger Series. We'll be doing it again on another Wadsworth Motorcars 125 from the Hickory Motor Speedway. You're not going to want to miss it. We've got a heck of a points battle brewing over there on Tuesday nights. Aaron Plemons out front, but there is a lot of guys, and this is the last chance tomorrow night for them to earn their midseason call-up. So next Monday night, you're probably going to see a bunch of new names and new faces, and I can't wait to see that. Yeah,
that's always fun when you see the guys come out of the Late Model Challenger Series, and here they are. They make the big show, and they're racing with the big dogs, and they see guys like Thomas Axum and Alex McCollum and Parker Traves out in front, and they want to get up there. I mean, they want to race with those guys, and it's really exciting to see those guys just kind of have to step up that level, and there is a step up. It's kind of like going from the Xfinity Series to the Cup Series in NASCAR, right, Jeff? I mean, you go from a really, really good series, which is the Late Model Challenger Series, to basically the big dogs, the guys that are unbelievably fast, and you step up and suddenly you're running 15th, and you don't know how.
Yeah, it is ultra competitive, and as soon as you make that jump from Tuesday to Monday night, it just takes it a whole nother level. But some drivers have taken to it. We saw Aaron Johnson running fantastic tonight. Bo Ledbetter, he's been great since his call up. Grayson Ward had a fantastic run tonight. So these guys are starting to turn it on. Yeah, Caden Fisher, another driver that had a fantastic run tonight. So we're starting to see some fresh names at the front of the field, and those McCollums and Thomas Axums, Parker Traves, they got some competition coming.
Yeah, that'll be super exciting starting next week. They're not looking forward to IRP, but Shockeye 12 Racing, we'll see what he can put together, and we'll see if we can get them something that'll be racy there at IRP. I'm sure he can do something about that. So I think next week will be fun to look forward to as well.
Well, make sure you tune into that one. That'll be the Islander in 125 from the Lucas Oil Speedway. That'll be Monday night starting at 9 p.m. Eastern, live on Facebook, live on YouTube, live on Twitch. And then, of course, tomorrow night, another Wadsworth Motorcars 125 for the County Road Custom Late Model Challenger Series. Make sure you're with us on 9 p.m. Eastern, live on our Facebook, and we will see you tomorrow night.